Hello everyone, welcome to my second YouTube video. So I'm being consistent and you need to give me a small reward by just subscribing to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about traveling solo. Yes. I've been traveling solo ever since I was 19-20, so back in college. And I can guarantee when I say that one of the biggest hurdles that an Indian girl faces when she wants to travel alone is not money, is not courage, is not her planning skills. It's convincing her parents to let her travel solo. And I know what that feels like because I had to go through the same process. When I started traveling solo, I started small. So I started from Himachal Pradesh to now going international. But the first conversation that I had with my parents was definitely not as easy as I'm making it sound right now. I remember the first time when I spoke to them was sometime back in college and I really wanted to go on this trip by myself. And I just went to them and I told them that, you know what, I was thinking ki rather than going with my friend and all, I was just thinking I'll go on my own. But I'll plan everything अच्छे से, I'll keep myself safe. That's not the right way to approach this conversation and I'll tell you why. But my parents' faces were first just confusion. They were just like, what? Why do you want to travel alone? Did we hear that right? You don't want to go with your friends. You want to travel by yourself. And they were worried. They were just like, is everything okay in your life? Are you sad? Why do you want to travel by yourself? They were very, very confused. After that, they went from confusion to, are you sure about this? All their safety concerns, which were very, very valid. Which meant that that day I went back to my room, very sad, but undefeated. I knew I needed a plan. And so today I thought I'll make a YouTube video and break it down for you guys as well. Give you my step-by-step plan to convince your parents to let you travel solo. And hopefully by the end of this video, you would be equipped with the superpowers of feeling fearless of going to your parents and feeling fearless to travel yourself. Let's get into the video. The first thing that you need to do is make them understand the why. Why do you even want to travel by yourself? Indian parents never get that. So that's your responsibility. Why do you want to travel solo? Tell them how you want to feel liberated, how you feel liberated whenever you even go out to have a meal by yourself or even go to the theater by yourself. Tell them about all the inspirations, all the women that you look up to who travel solo. I mean, that's what I did. I showed them videos of all different creators, women who've written books about traveling solo, and I told them if they can, I can do it too. I mean, they understood that this is not some rebellious phase I'm going through where I'm just like, I know you're going to say no for this, so I'm going to push you on it. No, it's something that holds value to you. So try to make them understand the why first. But unfortunately, knowing the why is not enough. You need to do your research. Indian parents love research. In fact, sometimes I think my dad's favorite word is recce because that's how much he loves it. You need to research everything. Which means when you go to them for the first time, you need to be prepared and have researched everything. You need to know where you're staying, what transport are you using, what time will you reach, where is the emergency contact, are there any hospitals close by? All of these questions need to be sorted because these are the exact questions your parents would ask you. And once you have the answers to all of them, they know you're capable of thinking through and you're independent enough to have all of these thoughts and you've thought them through and you are ready. Also, one of the reasons why I put researching everything as something that's up high on my priority is that it doesn't only give your parents the confidence, but it'll actually give you the confidence when you're going on your first solo trip. Because going solo is a little scary for the first time, but this will definitely help you. Now, the other thing that I'd recommend would be starting small and close. Don't go pitching a backpacking trip across Europe or going to Iceland as your first solo trip. Try to ease them into the process and ease yourself into the process as well. So go to some place close by, close to your home city or a place that's familiar to you and familiar to them. So the first time I traveled solo was in Rajasthan and we'd lived in Rajasthan for 2 years, which is why my parents were very comfortable. They knew what the area is like, they knew what the people are like, so they were comfortable letting me go and I was comfortable going there. We also had a couple of family friends there, which was super helpful in case, in case of an emergency that never happened, but in your parents' heads, there'll always be an emergency. So having that as, something in the back of your mind that you're going to someplace close will help you and your parents out. Now that you're going someplace close, you've told them why you want to travel solo, you're also done your research. The fourth thing is on you. You need to keep your promises when you're traveling. Make sure that you stay in touch with them. I'll always recommend sharing your live location with someone in your family or your close friends. That is something that's a big tip when you're traveling alone, but also to convince your parents and just let them know that you would know at all times where I'm going, and also providing them with the right contacts. So one thing that I always do when I travel solo is give my parents the number or of the hotel owner or the hostel receptionist, someone who's going to be around the place where I'm living the second I reach the destination. So always keep your promises, talk to them regularly, share your location with them. This is your first solo trip, so ease yourself into it and ease them into it as well. And lastly, get them involved but not too involved. Let me tell you what that means. So get them involved in the process of planning, right? So I always do this, and I think it's become so nice now. Initially, I used to share very less of my trips with my parents because I would always feel like, what if they say no at the last minute now that I'm talking about it too much? But now I've started sharing more and more, and I feel like, why didn't I do this earlier? Because our parents have traveled a lot as well, and they do know what the world is like. So just giving us general tips. I always ask my dad about, currency and finance tips whenever I'm traveling somewhere. My mom always helps me out with the best packing hacks. And these are great things. So involve your parents when you're going somewhere. They feel like they have a stake in your trip as well. And when I say don't involve them too much, is using your own finances. So I would always recommend having, some amount of money saved up when you're going for your first solo trip, because I feel like that money comes with no strings attached. It could be the pocket money that your parents give you, but once you've saved it, it also shows them that you're super serious about traveling by yourself and you've put in this effort to save that amount of money, because traveling does require money at the end of the day. And done! We're now at the end of this video. You guys are fully equipped to now go and talk to your parents, and I hope they say yes, and I hope that they trust you and you guys can go travel the world by yourself. And this is obviously not just for women, it can be for men as well. And I'd also love to know your stories of how was it when you brought up this conversation of traveling solo to your parents for the first time. I will be reading the comments and replying to all of them. So go hit the comment box right now. Chat with me and tell me what's up.
Know that you're coming back home.